Well, good morning, or maybe it's good afternoon. We're getting a bit of a late start today, but it's good to be outside. We're in the desert, as you can see. We're actually out in the Lucerne Valley, kind of the Johnson Valley area, if you know that area. But we're in Southern California, and we just hit dirt, so we're at the Trailhead, currently airing down, getting ready to head up this canyon, and work our way eventually all the way up into the pine trees up on top. So along the way, there's some cabins I want to check out. I think there's a mine I've never been able to find before, but I've heard that it's up there, so we might look a little bit more for that. And then along the way, we'll find a place to camp and enjoy an evening. And then tomorrow morning, we'll get up, get out of here, and head for home. But thanks for taking the time out to enjoy it. We appreciate you. I hope you enjoy it half as much as we enjoy making it. And I'm gonna go finish airing down, and I'll see you guys on the trail.
This episode is brought to you by CB Built, keeping my rig on the road, getting you all the good parts, making sure you can get wherever you want to get going. So get out there with CB Built. So often I catch myself fully consumed by the day-to-day grind. The stress, the anxiety, the trail behind the daily life that can feel all-consuming. Before I know it, I've forgotten to slow down. Forgotten to step away from the computer, silence the phone, and make time for a different kind of connection. Getting outside, truly outside, has a way of grounding. Nature hits the hard reset button on my operating system. It clears the static, recharges the batteries, and helps me show up fully for the people who matter the most to my life. With every deep breath, something shifts. Fresh, clean air replaces the stale remnants of planes, hotels, and long work weeks. There's a quiet sense of renewal, a balancing of the scales, a reminder of who I am, and the noise finally fades away. As we leave the busy world behind and shift our focus to the trail ahead, it's important to remember that we're only guests here. The access that we're granted, whether through landowners or land managers, is a privilege, and it's on us to move with respect for everything around us. In this case, as I made my way towards what looked to be an old building foundation, I quickly realized I was not alone.
All right, so we went up this little spur, and there's a whole bunch of longhorn cattle up in there, just chilling in the shade. I don't blame them, because it's about 81 degrees out here. But yeah, they're right by the road. There's a water trough up in there, so I really don't want to bother them. So I backed out of there super slow, and they're all still laying there in the shade. So good news, didn't disrupt them in the slightest. But it's always interesting running into wildlife. I know they're domestic cattle, that are grazed out here. But every once in a while you run into them and it's like, all of a sudden there's something much larger than you looking back at you with some big old horns. But anyway, we're gonna continue working our way up this canyon and see what else we can find.
As the open space of the Lucerne Valley begins to constrict and rise towards what will eventually become the San Bernardino National Forest, the canyon walls start to draw in around us. The vast desertscape tightens into a more intimate corridor, and suddenly we're surrounded by a beautiful tapestry of sage, cactus, and weathered rock. Layers of stone stack and twist in every direction, shaped by wind, water, and time. The landscape feels both harsh and fragile, alive in its own quiet way, reminding us that every mile forward is an invitation to slow down, look closer, and appreciate the subtle details that make these wild places so special. Continuing up the canyon, you can hear the sand, gravel, and rock responding to every turn of the tires, a constant shifting soundtrack that belongs only in places like this. The dry wash stretches out ahead of us like a winding invitation, its surface smooth into soft, rolling sand before tightening again into patches of exposed stone. There's a rhythm to it all. The Tacoma glides for a moment, floating almost effortlessly over the sand. Then the terrain lifts just enough to remind you that you're still very much in the backcountry. A few well-placed rocks break the flow, keeping your senses sharp and your eyes trained on what lies ahead. And that's part of the magic of traveling through a wash like this. You never quite know what's around the next bend. Maybe a narrow pinch in the canyon, maybe a sudden rise in elevation, or maybe an unexpected opening where the desert reveals something completely new. Each turn holds its own kind of anticipation, pulling you deeper into the landscape and further away from the noise of everyday life.
So, as you can see, we've been making progress up the canyon here. It's starting to wall up behind me, so it's getting a little bit tighter. Still pretty choppy from all the side-by-sides that come through here. But it's just really pretty, you know? It's just really, really pretty. All the different textures, rock, the sand, sage, mustard plants, and all the different colors and textures in the rocks. So we're gonna get going up this canyon because it's only 2 o'clock, but the crazy thing is we're already losing light where the canyon's pretty narrow. I guess that's the reality of daylight savings time in California. But anyway, it's amazing out here. Even if it's just a short trip, I'm super glad I took the time to make it happen. I had my doubts this morning when I got up, but just be able to breathe the fresh air, smell the sage, totally worth it. Anyway, we'll see you on the trail. So somewhere in that little patch of grass right there, there's a spring, because it's bone dry everywhere, but yet there's water running out of right there. And a little bit going uphill, just got to be splashed from guys driving through it. But pretty amazing, because it's always running when I'm out here. And it's not running fast, it's just a constant trickle in a small little stream. But I've seen cattle here, I've seen other animals here just drinking the water, taking advantage of it, just nature basically taking care of itself. So this canyon just continues to amaze me. It's pretty narrow, getting a little bit more rocky.
While most of this trail is made up of flowy sand and scattered small rocks, there are sections where having a true high clearance becomes more than just a convenience. It's a necessity. The wash may lull you into a relaxed rhythm, but once you pass the spring, the trail quickly reminds you why it commands respect. Here, the terrain tightens and tilts, the rocks grow larger and more deliberate, and the line choices become something you think about rather than simply follow. It's the kind of place where proper gear, a well-prepared rig, and a bit of patience make all the difference. The trail doesn't try to intimidate you, it simply asks that you show up ready, pay attention, and honor the challenges it throws your way.
It just makes it so easy with a truck like this. Anyway, we're gonna go on up this canyon. You see back here, go on up that way. There's a few rocks, but nothing crazy. So I'm gonna continue making progress. But as you can see, we're starting to lose light down here in the canyon. But it's still just absolutely beautiful. I love this place.
trail winds through a series of microclimates, each with its own distinct personality. One moment, you're moving through wide open desert dotted with sage and yucca. The next, you're slipping through cooler, narrow corridor where the rock formations tower overhead and the vegetation shifts subtly around you. These transitions happen quietly, almost without warning, and that's the part that keeps the journey so compelling. Every bend in the canyon feels like a doorway into something slightly different. New textures, new colors, new air. You never really know what the landscape will offer next. And that constant sense of discovery pulls you deeper into the experience, mile after mile.
Man, so as you can see behind me, just one more really prime example of fall out here. We're getting up more into trees. We're starting to see Joshua trees, some kind of a pine tree, a low-lying pine tree, maybe some kind of a mesquite or something. I've got to look that up. But the flora is definitely changing, and it's a unique mix as we're traversing through this micro ecosystem. But it's very interesting because not only do we have the Joshua trees and the pine trees, we got that. And that is absolutely spectacular. We had a bunch of them further down the canyon, but the canyon's starting to open up a little bit. So we're gonna get up on top of this thing where everything's gonna kind of open up, and we're gonna be able to pick up some time because it's taking a lot longer to get through than I anticipated. But there's also a lot of small offshoots that I've never seen before. So I think I'm gonna definitely have to plan a lot more time and come back up here and check out every single one of these offshoots just to see what's up there. I like to do it with somebody else because a couple of them were actually marked red. And I don't like to do red trails when I'm by myself. I mean, I will, but I'd rather not. Someone else come along. If that's you and you want to come along, send me a DM, man, on Instagram. Hit me up, leave it in the notes section here, or the comment section here, and I'll hit you up. We'll come back up here because I'd love to check this place out during the winter of this year. Anyway, I'm gonna hop back in the truck. I'm gonna get going again. I'll see you in a bit. Alright, so we're here at these cabins. One's a cabin, has an amazing view and a stove. This, I think, almost more like a garage or a storage shed, but very obvious people have been here, unfortunately. It's a pretty popular spot, so I totally get it, but it's pretty dilapidated. Work our way over here to the cabin. Well, we can see Chris has been here. Right on, Chris. Glad you can spell your name, bro. Anyway, there is a nice firing, and whoever lived here at one time, obviously it's been redecorated a little bit. More painting, more stuff. Still got the original floor in it. It's kind of interesting. Insulation. There's a lot of glass everywhere. A mattress. But I mean, if you lived here back in the day, what an amazing view.
With views that seem to stretch out endlessly from the cabin, it doesn't take long before something catches our eye across the canyon. And not necessarily a shape or a structure, just a hint of something that's out of place in a sea of sage and Joshua trees. Curiosity always wins out here, and a short drive brings us face to face with something you'd never expect to find tucked inside this rugged desert landscape.
We're here in the middle of the desert, and we've got this really nice spring. I hear a frog kind of off in the distance. Oh, yeah, pretty amazing again how Mother Nature really takes care of herself. Those fall colors, I sure don't hate them. Yeah, so as you can see, we're here in the kind of a Joshua tree forest, but it's also mixed in with all these beautiful trees that are in full fall colors. Not something you'd expect in the desert. I would expect more of the Joshua tree, but less of the fall colors. And what I'm seeing around here is just absolutely amazing. The desert just never ceases to amaze me. It always shows me something different, you know, even though this is a space I've come to before, but I've never come quite at this time of year, nor have I come at this time of the day. So the shadows are different, the lighting is different, and it's just really incredible. I'm super thankful I decided to come out here today. Super thankful. Anyway, I'm gonna get back on the trail because I think I'm starting to run out of daylight. I don't know if you can see that. Look at that. That would be a bird den. Huh. Bird got a condo inside the tree.
From here, it's a short, smooth run through Joshua Tree Forest, the roads widening into well-groomed ribbon that lets you relax and simply take in the beauty around you. Before long, the trail presents you with a choice, left or right. Left will lead you deeper into the open desert, a wide expanse of solitude and sky. Right carries you towards the mountains, where elevation and rugged terrain shift the characters of the journey once again. Either direction delivers the same gift, remoteness. Out here, you're a long way from the noise, the schedules, the daily grind. It's the kind of crossroads that reminds you why you came, to trade pressure for presence, and let the land decide what comes next.
All right, so we are officially done with Rattlesnake Canyon. And we are at the T-junction at Burns. And obviously you can go a number of ways here. Looks like there's some camping right here. I don't think I'm gonna camp here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and head off towards Big Bear, which would be to the right for me. And then, I don't know, if we find the right spot to camp, we may camp. And if we don't find the right spot, we may actually end up going home. I don't know. Been gone a lot between work and exploring and adventure, so I've got to leave again day after tomorrow to head back to the East Coast. And you know, as the whole thing, family, wife, dogs, fur babies, all the stuff that's really important. And I don't think I'm really getting enough of that right now. But I'm truly blessed to have a wife that supports all of my insanity and says, if you want to go camping, go camping. Get outside, go enjoy, go unwind. She knows that when I do, when I do get out and go camping, or at least get out and spend a day on the trail, she says I come back a better person. I come back a better person. It washes away the stress, it washes away anxiety, and all of the other things that go along with, you know, just life during the week, especially when you travel a lot for work. And I'm just really blessed to have a partner that supports this. Anyway, I'm having a really hard time seeing because the sun's coming right in through the window, so I'm going to focus a bit more. All right, so there's this spot that I've been wanting to stay at for a really long time. I keep coming up here. I always get here at the wrong time of day. But I just walked down there. And it looks like no one's been there for a really long time. And there's growth, you know, there's cactus growing in, there's plants filling in what used to be road-ish to get down to this one spot. There's still a rock ring down in there, but it's all overgrown. So I think we're gonna have to write this spot off as reclaimed by Mother Nature, which is awesome. It's really awesome. There's so much out here for us to enjoy, but you got to make sure that there's some wild stuff here too. So I'm gonna keep looking, see if I can find a spot. And if not, like I said, I'm kind of half torn between camping and going home. So there's lots to do at home. Lots to do. There's always stuff to do at home. This is a nice spot. Yeah, this is a nice spot. That'd be good. Oh. Yeah. Well, that's going to keep me from backing in here. But that's nice. I guess I could set up camp just up on that lip. Anyway, or I could just pull straight down in here, straight into here, and I bet I could get pretty level here. Anyway, I'm gonna think about this for a minute, and I'm either gonna get down here and start setting up, or I'm gonna get back on the trail, because there's a lot of places between here and there to stop and camp. All right, well, we left that spot. It was pretty nice, but there was a lot of traffic coming down that road, and it wasn't that far off. And the way the corners lined up, I think some lights, like headlights, would have gotten down in there, and it just would have been annoying. Plus, it was close enough I could hear the vehicles driving by. Rapid fire. But I did make it. As I said, I was going to make it to the Pines, so we're in the Pines. So I think I'm going to go ahead and jump in the truck, and I'm going to start making better pace, and I think I'm just going to head home for the night. Crash out at home, spend Sunday with the family, and then, like I said, I'm out of here on Monday, headed back to the East Coast for a while. They got a lot of ammo over there. So anyway, yeah, I think that's the plan. I think it's the move. I think it's the plan. I think it's what we're going to do. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed making it. I'm still super happy that I got out here and got some fresh air and saw some beautiful trees, saw some beautiful rocks, checked out some cool cabins, and washed away the week. But yeah, I think I'm ready to head for home. So if you've hung in there with me this long, wow. So if you've hung in there with me this long, I thank you. Please click the subscribe button, possibly even the little bell, so you know when we post more stuff, because I'm going to come back up and spend a lot more time out in that area and really drill down all the little side roads and document all the camping. And then if you really liked it, if you really enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up. Lets me know that you enjoyed it and that I should keep doing what I'm doing. But anyway, this is LFG Overland. My name's Jeff. Thanks for watching.